So the reason why I want you to know about the functional groups is you will see these again when you guys are doing your amino acid research tomorrow. Some of you will have amino acids that have different functional groups, which changes the behavior of that amino acid and how it works within a large protein. All right, this picture I just found online that goes through those functional groups again. The R right here would be where the rest of the organic molecule is attached to it. But just to show you different arrangements of those little drawings that I showed you. It also gives you a little bit more detail of some of the properties of them. This is just my notes from a picture so that I could use the clips on the slideshow we just went over. All right, our last portion of the notes for today and the whole packet, other than you should be working on your crossword as well as the concept map I will go over with you on Thursday before you go ahead and take your test. This last group here is the nucleic acids. The monomer of nucleic acids are nucleotides, which one is pictured right here. They are really important for genetic information, transferring that information to make proteins, and ATP is technically a nucleic acid, so it's used for energy as well. The atoms that you would find in nucleic acids include carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphorus. You can see that right here. All right, so this guy you guys probably all know and recognize as DNA. It is double-stranded. It's got that twisted helix, classic thing you learn about in biology. On this model, each of these dark banded kind of fuchsia sections are the phosphate groups. You can see one right here. Okay, the color sort of matches. And then this section here of this ribbon, if you will, is representing the deoxyribose in the lighter purple. And then traveling all along the backbone are those little teeth, which are your nitrogenous bases, which are over here. Holding those together are a hydrogen bond between the A and the T, the adenine and thymine. We have a double hydrogen bond, but between between cytosine and guanine, we have a triple hydrogen bond. And so it just has to do with the arrangement of those nitrogenous bases. When you look at DNA, it's a bunch of repeating subunits, which would be my nucleic acid over here. So if I were to circle one of the light purples, the dark purple, and then any of the letters, okay, the T, C's, or G's, in this case I have an A here, that what's circled is a nucleotide, right? It consists of all three parts, the phosphate group, the 5-carbon sugar, and the nitrogenous base. The nitrogenous bases are these, right? And U for uracil. We find uracil only in RNA, and so it's not listed with this DNA picture, but it's also one of those nitrogenous bases is uracil. Speaking of RNA, we're going to go through and compare and contrast DNA with RNA. So here's DNA, your double-stranded helix. This is RNA, your single-stranded helix. Notice that the uracil has been changed out here for any of your yellow or orangey thymines. And so there's some differences between it. I also want you to notice the length that RNA is shorter than DNA. It's a smaller subunit of it. And this kind of gets into how it's arranged. All right, off to the side here, I want you guys to list these differences though. So DNA is used the gene, okay? It's your DNA genetic information. When we start talking about this 5-carbon sugar, what's different between DNA and RNA is what type of sugar is found in it. We also find DNA in the nucleus of our cells. It has that double helix shape to it. It is also double-stranded, meaning there's two sides to it, two backbones, and they form those hydrogen bonds between. The base pair rules is adenine and thymine, cytosine and guanine. RNA